I really like how this one looks like. This really looks like it's from Mario Kart 8, from the base game. I mean the one where they still cared about graphics. Mario Kart DS is one of my absolute favorite games. But it's very disappointing that we didn't get enough remakes of the tracks in the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Booster Course Pass. And this is something that will show you what a real remake of a lot of these tracks could look like. This is a video from Mario Power 55 with the title "What if every Mario Kart DS track was recreated?" So this is the normal DS intro, obviously. How the figure 8 circuit looked like. Okay, and this is the remake in Mario Kart 8. This is definitely a custom track because this one was never remade. It looks a little bit like the remakes from the Booster Course Pass because yeah, the grass is not so detailed and it's just basically the color green. But it has a bit of this cozy comic vibe, which I like. So yeah, that was this track. Not so much special things going on. I guess you could really add some shortcuts to this track, which would be very interesting. But the flying section is not so bad. Yoshi Falls was remade for the Wii. But I'm very curious how they make it here, but I guess because there was already one remake, it's not so difficult to do it. Yeah, actually this looks very nice and very much like the Mario Kart 8 graphics. It's interesting, the shading on Yoshi looks a bit unusual, but I like it. I mean, in general I like Yoshi, so I'm not gonna complain. Yeah, it also looks like there's not so much new happening in this track. I don't see any crazy new shortcuts. Okay, here's something which is not so bad, but still in general, I mean, what are you gonna do with just a track which is basically a circle? But still, it's very nice to see it with the updated graphics and yeah, it's not a bad track. Maybe you could do something with the egg in the center, that you could somehow make a shortcut where you jump over the egg or something like this. That could be very crazy, but I don't know how it works. And also we got the map layout from the other Yoshi track, the labyrinth track, where I actually have to say it's a bit sad that they didn't keep this feature where you don't know which place you have when you play this track. And in Nintendo 64 there was this feature, and then on Mario Kart 8 they removed it. Yeah, Cheep Cheep Beach is a track I really like. And this track actually already has a remake. So I don't know, maybe they will just show off the vanilla version. Yeah, this looks like the vanilla Mario Kart 8 version of this track. But I really like it, so I don't mind looking at this track again. This is a DS remake that just looks very nice and also has some Mario Sunshine vibes, which is very enjoyable. And I just don't understand all the hate that Mario Sunshine got. That game is so amazing and it has a lot of fans. And I just hope Nintendo makes a sequel to Mario Sunshine one day. I mean, we got the shitty Switch version of that game, but that's it. Okay, now we have a fan favorite, Luigi's Mansion. Actually, this is not one of my absolute favorite tracks from the DS, but still, I understand why so many people like it. And this one was not included in the Booster Course Pass, which a lot of people were very upset about. But we got a remake of this track for Mario Kart 7 and also for Mario Kart Tour. But this one looks a lot better, I have to say. But it is a bit triggering that he doesn't do the stunts, where you can do stunts actually. Because when I play this track in Mario Kart 7, I always do the stunts. But at least we have this this flying section here. And also it's nice how there are some enemies added here. Of course, there were the branches walking around, which are not included here, but I guess it's very difficult to program them in. And then also there were the hammers from the other Ghost track. But yeah, that's a very interesting remake. And this one, Desert Hill, is a track that I really like from DS, and I really don't understand why it was not remade another time. I mean, we got a remake on the Wii, but still, this should have really been included in Mario Kart 8. But there's a silver lining to all of this, because Nintendo basically didn't release a new Mario Kart game for over 10 years now, and Mario Kart 9, it's basically finished. It's so clear that they're holding it off, and it will probably be a Switch 2 launch title, and as we all know, the Switch 2 really will release soon. So probably we will get Mario Kart 9 very soon, and then also we might get this track remade again. And this is actually a very interesting new section they have added, but I guess it's replacing these sand dunes, which I really like, so I guess I still like the original DS version more. Okay, and this is another DS track which I just love a lot. And I'm also very disappointed that this wasn't remade into Mario Kart 8. But it was remade into Mario Kart Wii. If I don't completely have some problems with my memory. But I think it was. And it's interesting, there are those arrows for the booster course pass, where it could change later. And we have some symbols from Mario Sunshine, which is very nice. So this track has a bit more these reference. But there are some buildings that are supposed to be here. Like, this just looks way too small. Of course it's nice with the market, but I just remember those buildings being there. But anyway, in general, this is a very nice remake of the track, because first of all, the graphics look very good, and yeah, here's the other shortcut, very nice that that's included, and yeah, this shortcut is very obvious, but there you go. Yeah, this remake really looks amazing. And now on the third round, we move in the other direction, and that's actually cool. This is, I think, a new section they added. And it really feels like this has been, as if this track has been included in a booster course pass. Like, that really looks the same way, and I like that. But yeah, still it's triggering me that there are not enough buildings. And yeah, I guess it makes sense that the arrows don't allow you to go down here. And that's also cool that they included the big star from Mario Sunshine. Yeah, this track should definitely return in Mario Kart 9. And I still cannot believe how good it looks like. But I have to honestly say, those arrows, those red arrows, feel a little bit like a lazy feature of adding some blockades to the game. Somehow it felt very rushed, even though it's not a bad way of doing it, but still. And now we have Waluigi's pinball track, and of course this track is already included, so I guess this is just a vanilla version from the Booster Course Pass, which actually looked not as realistic as I hoped it would look like in Mario Kart 8. It has a bit of this comic vibe again, which I don't think fits so well to this track. It really looks a bit more like a Mario Kart 7 version in HD and not a Mario Kart 8 version. But still, a lot of people were very happy that this track was included in the Booster Course Pass, and I mean, I also like this track. This is a kind of style of track that I really enjoy, but it's not my favorite track from Mario Kart DS. And I know that's very bad to say something like this, because a lot of people love this track. But I also have to say, I'm just gonna go back a little bit. In this area here, on the DS version, there was a glitch where you could basically get hit by one of the balls that's coming here, by one of those balls, and then if you get hit by this and you go into the electric fence, you basically get catapulted up by the game, or just catapulted anywhere randomly on the map. And this was so cool. I was doing this so much when I was 10 years old, and there were people showing off this glitch on YouTube, and actually people didn't believe them. So somebody had to show physically that he puts a cartridge into his DS and without any cheat codes. Yeah, that was very interesting and gives me good memories. And Shroom Bridge is a track that I just absolutely love, because this kind of nature vibe I really like, and I can instantly see that this is not the version that's included in the Booster Course Pass, because that version didn't look so good. And this one looks more realistic. Like, I really like how this one looks like. This really looks like it's from Mario Kart 8. From the base game. I mean the one where they still cared about graphics. Yeah, that's very nice. Okay, but still, I think this is updated graphics. Yeah, this looks very nice. But this track is also very short. Yeah, but still pretty amazing. Okay, and now we have DK Pass. Yeah, this is a DS track that I also like a lot, and it was included in Mario Kart 7 and in Mario Kart Tour, but Mario Kart Tour was basically just Mario Kart 7 for the phone. And yeah, the graphics definitely look much better here. Yeah. Yeah, I like this track, definitely. But I feel like there should be snowballs falling down now. And I don't see any snowballs, which is a bit unfortunate. But still, the graphics look very nice. And yeah, of course he goes up here, but there's no item box. Of course it makes sense because he's playing time trials, but still. I guess there would be a double item box up there or something like this. Or a special item box that gives you a good item. But yeah, I can really feel that there are the snowballs missing on this track. And also, this one was in Mario Kart 7 and in Tour it was a flying section, so that's also something that could be improved in this track. TikTok Shock is another reason why the Mario Kart DS tracks are just so amazing, and I really like this track. Of course, this was included in Mario Kart 8, and this looks like the vanilla version of the track. And I had a very interesting experience when I drove this track the first time when I was like 8 or 9, because I somehow managed to drive in the wrong direction, and I realized it pretty late, and I still tried to turn around and win the race, but everyone else was so far advanced that I really didn't have any chance. But then there was one computer enemy who basically was so far behind that I could still overtake him, and it was very interesting and funny. Yeah, I have a lot of good memories with this track. And Mario Circuit I also enjoy a lot. I was very happy that this track was included in the Booster Course Pass. And yes, this is also the version that we got in the Booster Course Pass with the lazy graphics. And the Goombas, which actually don't move so much. And I enjoyed the Goombas, how they looked on the DS Mario Kart version a bit more, because they were just 2D sprites, but they look pretty nice. And actually this area I like a lot, because it really is a big forest and makes you feel very good to drive through here. And yeah, this track has a lot of different sections, and it's not bad, definitely not. Yeah, Airship Fortress is a track where a lot of people were very disappointed that it was not included in Mario Kart 8. But to be honest, I have seen this track, like seriously, I have played this track so much on the DS, and actually this looks very nice. Those graphics, I have to say, really are amazing. But I've played it so much on Mario Kart 7 and on DS, and then also on Mario Kart Tour. And of course this track is very nice, and I will never complain if it's included somewhere, but I don't feel the absence so extremely much from Mario Kart 8. So yeah, but that's just my opinion. But still, this is a very nice remake, like seriously. And yeah, this section is just a lot of fun because you can just keep drifting, but actually he should have just let go of the drifting and done it again. That's more effective, but yeah, very nice. Yeah, Wario Stadium, of course, was remade in Mario Kart 8. And that's also a DS track that I like a lot. And that's the vanilla version of the track as well. But yeah, with the good Mario Kart 8 graphics. And that's really noticeable. It also has like this more aggressive color grading. Like it's more cinematic and not so cartoonish as the other tracks. And all of this is exactly the same as the DS version of the track, but here it's a bit different. And of course I like it when they change things in tracks, but sometimes it really takes away the memory and the nostalgia factor of the original track, because this is so different that I don't recognize the DS track anymore. And it basically makes it its own track, but a part of me also thinks it's a little bit sad that they do something like this, because I enjoy it a bit more when there is a new section added to a track, which is then in the third round activated, like for example on the remake of this track, because this track was of course remade in the Booster Course Pass, and this is definitely the remake of this track. And I was very happy that this one was included, because it was already remade in Mario Kart Wii, but this remake I like even more. And for this track the nice colorful style really fits well. In Mario Kart Wii there were some ramps in the grass here, but yeah, they didn't add them now, which I find a little bit unfortunate. Yes, and then of course the nice thing is in the last round of this track you just go backwards, and that's just super cool, and you have a small new section of the track which is very enjoyable. Yeah. But still, somehow these red arrows, they feel a little bit like a fast mechanic that was added to just make players redirect in some direction. And of course this flying section is super cool. Yeah, natural barriers like these ones would be much more interesting for the instead of the red arrows. And now this is one of my favorite DS tracks, Bowser's Castle, and I just don't understand why it was never remade. This should have really been included in the Booster Course Pass, but I hope it will be included in Mario Kart 9. Yeah, this is definitely a custom remake, which of course is nice that somebody did it, but yeah, it looks a little bit unfinished, to be honest. Like, it looks a bit like an N64 version, especially this part here of the track, which was just upscaled, and also the scaling is a little bit interesting. Yeah, but there of course was a shortcut before which he didn't show, and oh my goodness, that spinning beam is missing, which is a bit unfortunate, but I guess it's very difficult to program that. And of course here is also the flying section where there are usually the moving platform, but especially the spinning wheel is like such a special part of this track, and I think that should definitely be in a proper remake of this track. But I guess this one just still needs a bit more work. And yeah, that's this other shortcut, but here the Womp should also move a bit differently. And of course now yeah, it doesn't make so much sense to go on this path on purpose, because it's really if you fall off that spinning beam at the end. And now we have a Rainbow Road from DS, and this track I really like a lot. And I also really hope that we will see this one again in an official Nintendo release. And this looks actually very nice. Yeah, those are really proper Mario Kart 8 graphics. And yeah, I think so far I can say that this does feel a lot like the original DS version of that track, which is very nice. And there's the Moonstone from Mario Odyssey. Yeah, that's a pretty cool addition. Yeah, I think we might actually get a rainbow track that has some references to Mario Odyssey. Like, there's also the Odyssey in the background. But I really think it's almost a no-brainer that we get a Mario Odyssey Rainbow Road track in Mario Kart 9. But we will see. Okay, yeah. That was it. Yeah, that was really nice to see all of these tracks, and it made me feel very nostalgic.